Thank you so much for joining your podcast. This is Spazzing Out, America's podcast. This is America's podcast. It is your podcast where we discuss and talk about the things that are important to you, the things that are happening on a daily basis. Podcast is done 5 days a week, usually at nighttime, around 6:30 at night. We're live on Facebook, live on Twitter. We're live on what the hell is this other one? YouTube at SpazWAF. Most of my social medias at Instagram at SpazWAF, Twitter at SpazWAF, Facebook at SpazWAF. I also think I'm at SpazWAF on YouTube. If not, look up Anthony Pazziali in YouTube. You'll find me. Or go to anthonypazziali.com to find the podcast. You can get the podcast anywhere you go to get your favorite podcast. Put in Spazzing Out. Title of the program is Spazzing Out. The catchphrase from now on, America's podcast. Why? Because I love everything American. You love everything American. And that's the things we talk about. And we keep it American because I'm more American than America. All right. Now that we get that stuff out of the way, we have some things that I'd like to get into, some things that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about WAP. If your kids are listening, get them the hell away because we're talking about WAP. What's that? Wet ass pussy. We're going to talk about the song, the video. It's a man alert, bro. We're going to send out a man alert for WAP. If you haven't seen the video, you have to check it out. How about American subs? Bro, I'm down with American subs. American subs are good. They're better than Italian subs, bro. All right. So WAP. Is it Kamala or how do we say this lady's name? Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris? She's Joe Biden's running mate. We want to talk about phony Harris or phony Kamala. Honestly, here's the crazy thing. I'm going to talk about this. She's a Republican. She's a closet Republican. I'm going to tell you guys why. I've always thought this about this lady. Or she's a fence rider. She rides the fence. She's a flip-flopper. But she's actually a hot-ass nose attorney general. We'll get into that. There's going to be no college football, and nobody gives a fuck. All right, we're going to talk about that. At least I don't care. I don't have people watch college football, bro. But whatever. No big deal. Trump's cracking me up. I love the guy. The stuff that he says absolutely makes me laugh. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about what's a new Republican. Because I am a new Republican. And I want to explain to you guys what new Republican. You know what? We should just stop with what new Republican is. Okay? New Republican. Thank you. Someone said I'm a good podcaster. Thanks, Mom. My mom, Liz, is probably watching right now on Twitter, and she just said that I'm a great podcaster. So, Ma, thank you so much. And for those of you that are new to the podcast, I'll tell you what New Republican is in a second, but I should talk about Liz because a lot of people don't know Liz. Liz Pazziali, that is my mom. My mom has been inducted into the Alcoholic Hall of Fame. She's should be the president of that. Raging alcoholic for many years, but she was a fun alcoholic. Not a bad alcoholic, not the kind that would hit her kids. She was the kind that would have fun with her kids while she was drunk. Now, I don't suggest you become a fun alcoholic, and I don't think it's good for your kids. Quite frankly, it sucks in some instances, but my mom is a very sick woman right now. She has MS, early onset, dementia. And she has, liver disease because of how much she drank, right? But God, she was a fun ass drunk. So we affectionately call her Liz in this program. We don't shit on her because I do love her. But my life was shaped by this woman and by her decisions as well as my dad. So from time to time, you'll hear me talk about Liz or you'll say I'm getting my Liz on. What that means is I'm drinking because I'm getting my Liz on. I'm a fun drunk just like my mom. When I drink, I'm fun. I'm not an angry drunk. There are members of my family that some people might call them a nightmare when they have a couple of beverages, but that's personal to them, and I won't out those people. Some of you who know me well know who I'm talking about. But my mom, Liz, anyways, I said Liz, so I want to say it. Anyways, new Republican. It's a new term because it's new. I consider myself a new Republican. What does this mean? I believe just about in everything most Republicans believe in. I am fiscally conservative, although I am somewhat socially liberal in some ways. For example, I would say I absolutely do not support. I'm not someone that supports giving $400 a week to people. I don't support that kind of crap. Okay, so if that kind of helps you out, but I'm issue to issue. Some issues, if they have affected me personally, I might be less lenient towards somebody. But for the most part, I'm right in line with Republicans, except for their conservativeness when it comes to the church and their conservativeness when it comes to God and sinning. And when you get the real radical right people that are just absolute nuts. I do believe in God. I don't push my religion on anybody. I believe that God and I have a conversation, and I don't think he is a butler. I ask the guy for guidance. I never ask for something from God. I never pray to him and say, "Please, God, can you help me?" I say, "God, give me guidance," because the dude's not your butler. He's not your servant. You don't say, "Hey, bro, give me some bread." You say, "Hey, bro, help me, guide me in the right direction so that I may find some bread or find a way to make bread or find a way to do this. Help me with show me the opportunity, and I pray that I have the ability to execute them, but I'm not looking for something from this guy." So when the far right people get all Jesus, I'm out on that. And that's what a new Republican is. New Republicans believe everything the Republican Party, that they're on the party line, but we're not forcing God down your throat. Does that make sense to you? That's what I call a new Republican. The reason that I bring that up is because it leads me to the conversation of today's man alert. I have a man alert. This is for the men. So you know what? This is also for the lesbians, okay? But this is mostly for the men. We have a man alert, brah. Man alert. I don't have anything for a man alert yet. Maybe it's like, man, we got men, men. Probably awful. I'll come up with something, right? You have got to go immediately. Immediately. Maybe while you're watching this podcast, bro, immediately. YouTube WAP. Immediately. Just do it, bro. Send it to all your damn friends. Do it now. It's an amazing video by Cardi B, by Megan the Stallion. I love Megan the Stallion, bro. You got to go check her out, Megan the Stallion, and it's also got Kylie Jenner in it. And the video and the lyric. Listen, you might not like hip hop, okay? Turn it down. Go watch it. Turn down the music. I happen to like hip hop. I happen to like rap. But I also love rock and roll. As you know, I worked at a rock station for 16 years, and I came to love rock music. I love rock. My favorite band is Foo Fighters. But I would say my number one band is Foo Fighters. My number two band is probably Papa Roach. I know you guys don't care for that. I love Disturbed. I love Godsmack. But I love the classics like Led Zeppelin. Phenomenal. Awesome. Aerosmith, great. Metallica, obviously. But I go off from that. I like Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. But you have to check out this video. WAP, it stands for Wet Ass Pussy. Check it out. Check out the video. Dude, listen to the lyrics. You should listen to the lyrics because the Republicans are all upset about it. And I don't play that game. They're all pissed. Republicans are they're ragging on these ladies, basically saying that, this is what happens when God's not in your life. I would say this is what happens when God is in your life. God is clearly in my life that he put forth this video. So thank you so much, good Lord, for putting these three ladies together. Kylie Jenner's only in it for a second, for putting these two ladies together. I really appreciate it. That Phil Collins is great. We'll talk about Phil Collins, but check out the video. You guys will absolutely love it. I don't know why the Republicans are so upset about it. I don't know why they get God-fearing on stuff like this. They should be thanking God that a video like this got put out. Check it out. WAP. It stands for Wet Ass Pussy. If you can go online, it's the edited version, so I don't know what the hell they call it, but you'll love it. Megan the Stallion, bro, you'll love it. She's got her song is that savage. I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. That song, awesome. Check it out. But it kind of goes in line with my theory of the new Republicans. I'm not gonna force God down your throat. And I don't make decisions based on what the religion tells me I should make them on. I make decisions up here in my head. At least I try to. And anytime I do need guidance, I do go and I talk to God. But that's for me. I don't push that on you. I don't even push it on my own kids. My kids, they're not baptized. Okay? When they get old enough and they want to get, and they believe that Jesus is their Lord and Savior and they want to get baptized, fine by me. I'm not going to push religion on anybody. I talk to my kids about it, but I certainly don't push them in that direction. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. But that's what I think a new Republican is. We believe everything. We love America. We love hard work. We want people to work hard. We want to save our money. We want less government in our life. We want to do things for ourselves. We believe we don't need to be told that we have to wear a seatbelt. I understand why they have seatbelt laws, because 99% of America are a bunch of idiots, and we have to have idiot laws. And the reason that we have idiot laws is because we have stupid people that do stupid things. Here's an example. There was an article on Fox today that I was reading. This 25-year-old kid died because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt and he was drinking and driving, right? Why was it in the news? Because in his obituary, it said that the cause of death, his friends wrote it, so it's not the official cause of death, just said cause of death was being a dumbass. Simple. You're drinking, you're driving, and you're not wearing a seatbelt. Yes, it's a recipe for dying. You're a dumbass. But we have laws that say you can't drink and drive because people are stupid and they drink and drive. We have laws. I'm dying. We have laws for no texting and driving because people are stupid. So, to wrap that up, I call myself a new Republican. I believe in everything the conservatives do, except I'm not trying to force God down your throat. And I believe it, and this might set a lot of people off. Your choice to decide what you do if you're pregnant. Okay, I don't care. You pick. Up to you. If you want to get an abortion, fine, get an abortion. Now, what I do with my family is what I do with my family. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I believe that's a true conservative. True conservatives do not get involved in your business. I don't want to know what you're doing at home. I don't care what you do at home, and I'm not going to try to regulate what you do at home. If you got pregnant and you don't want to have the damn kid, don't have the damn kid. It's none of my business. What I do in my house, completely different. At this age, if we're having a kid, I hope we're having a kid, but ultimately it's Kaylee's choice. Ultimately, I would say to her, hon, please, let's have this child. But if she didn't want to, it's her choice, man. So I'm not here to do that, so I don't force that kind of crap down people's throats. But what I will force down your throat is the same thing that Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B want to force down their throat, is this damn video. Go check it out. WAP. You'll love it. Women will love it. Everybody loves it. I don't know why Republicans are bitching. I bet you Trump loves it. I guarantee you. If Donald Trump saw this video, he'd tweet right out. He just do hashtag WAP. Check it out. If you haven't checked it out yet, get your ass, check it out. Do it after my podcast or something like that. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm still recording. That my setup is pretty funny how I have the podcast set up. I'm right here, right? So over here, I have YouTube going. Right in the middle, I have Twitter going. And up here, I have Facebook going. And then down here, I'm actually recording the podcast on an iPad through this app called Anchor. And it seems to be working out pretty good. Podcast is growing in numbers. We're about to hit that 20,000 download mark. We'll probably hit that in the next day or two. Fantastic. So I want to thank my listeners for that. I really appreciate it. The numbers aren't always that strong on the live feed, but I like doing the live feed because it makes me feel like I'm more involved and that you're more involved when I'm doing the podcast. So that's why we do it. And I hope that you'll join me. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube page. If you're watching on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. And if you're on Facebook, share this feed and follow me. Okay. Why don't we get into college football briefly, and then we'll get into Joe Biden's VP pick, and then we'll get into Donald Trump because he and his thoughts on the VP pick because he cracks me up. So college football, for the most part, it's not happening. Big Ten, they canceled today. Here's my thought on it, though. Does anybody really care? Do people actually watch college football? I don't think I've watched ever watched an entire college football game. Never. I don't think I have. I think maybe in college when I went to UMass Lowell, I did because gambling on college games was big when I was in college, but I don't gamble, so I didn't gamble. As a matter of fact, I would take bets from people because I don't gamble. I'm the perfect bookie because I don't fuck around with the money. Wait, now I'm implicating myself like I was a bookie. But I wasn't a bookie. What I would do is in the house, I would take bets from guys, and I'd actually be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take a bet here, you moron," because I don't gamble, and I never got into watching college football. I don't know what excites people about college football. There's nothing exciting to me about college football. I wish they would just move college football altogether from Saturday and let the NFL just play on Saturday. Which brings me to the next thing. Now that there is not going to really be any college football, I would like the NFL to play some games on Saturday. You do it towards the end of the season. Let's do it now. So now let's get football, because I want football, NFL every night, bro. There's not going to be high school football, so let's get football on Friday. I want NFL football. I want a game Thursday night. I want a game Friday night. I want 4 games, 5 games on Saturday, 4 or 5 games. Is that many teams? Is there enough? How many teams are there? There's 32 teams, so there's 16 games. All right, so we're going to do 1 game. Let's do the math here, man. 1 game on Thursday night, so now that leaves what? Well, there's always a bye week, right? So let's say we're at bye week, bro. So now you got 15 teams, right? You have 15 games because if there's 2 teams on bye, so you have 15. Thursday night, now you got 14 left. Friday night, now you got 13 left. You got 1 on Monday night. So now you got 12 games. You do 6 games on Saturday, 6 games on Sunday. NFL all the time, all day, literally. We want more NFL. College football is garbage. I don't think anybody cares that they're not going to play college football. Now, here's my thoughts. 32 teams, not yet. Yeah, 32. I messed that up. All right, I'm a moron. Now, here's my thought. My advice is the same advice that a lot of people give in college football players. If you are going to be a top first-round pick or even a second-round pick in the NFL, do not play this year. Take the year off. Do not play in the spring. Do not play in the spring. Why should you not play in the spring? Because springtime is when all the NFL things are happening. Springtime is when they're doing the pro day. They're doing the Columbine. They're the draft. All that crap. So decide now. Don't play. Just be done. Just be done. Opt out. Say you're going to join the NFL draft. Do not play. Now, if you're just a schlub and you're like a Rudy and you're never going to play NFL, yep, of course you're going to play in the spring. Go out there. Give your best effort. We'll get a little football in the spring. Would be great. The college football might be more interesting if it was actually played in the spring, because then we would have football in fall, and then we would have football in the spring. But honestly, I don't think people watch college football. I don't. I certainly don't. I'm not like, oh yeah, dude, the only thing I know about the quarterback from Clemson is that he looks like the daughter from the Ozarks. All right. And if you don't agree with me, I want you to go look up Ozark from Netflix, look up Marty Bird's daughter, and then I want you to go look up what's this guy's name? Anyways, is he even from Clemson? Look him up, right? He's the quarterback. He's supposed to be the #1 draft pick next year. Look his ass up. Put a photo of him next to the chick from the Ozark. They look like fucking twins. That's the only thing I know about the guy. That's it. That, and that he's supposed to be a good quarterback, but I don't watch college football. Bro, I don't even watch the playoffs of college football. I might watch a little bit of the national championship, so I don't care that they're not playing football. Here's my thought again. College, high school, elementary, pre-K should be canceled for the year. Bye-bye. Cancel it. Don't make people do remote learning. Remote learning is garbage. It's useless. Let everybody take the fucking year off. You guys figure out the vaccine. We'll go back to school next year. Everybody will benefit from taking a year off. I've always thought that the kids should get a bye year anyways. I did. I truly believe that between 8th grade and between middle school and high school, kids should get a bye year. Why? Because they need a year to mature. There should be a bye year for kids to mature. They get 1 effing year off, then they go back. But that would be fantastic. They get the year off. And they hear me out. Between middle school and high school, because they're old enough to stay home by themselves at that time. If you're going to be a freshman in high school, well, you could stay home by yourself. Because if you can't, then you shouldn't be going into high school. Honestly. If your kid is going into high school and that kid can't stay home by himself or herself, then you're a shitty parent. Seriously. 150% you're a moron and you've done a terrible job if your kid can't stay home by themselves by the time they're in high school. I want you to think about what goes in to your kid staying home. If you haven't figured that out yet, to teach your kid to make them a woman enough or a man enough to stay home by the time they're in high school, you fucked up. But that year off creates gap. I'm serious. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if they repeated the grade. I honestly don't. I'm cool with my daughter not going to school this year. She's in kindergarten. My son's going into the 8th grade. I don't care if he goes to school this year. I'd prefer if he didn't. The babysitters will not be at work. I would like them not to go to school. So now a lot of people are saying they're not going to watch the NFL because of the issues with not standing for the national anthem. I think you're going to see that go away. I think the NFL is going to do the right thing. I think the NFL, week 1, they'll do the wrong thing. I think week 1, they will let the players kneel, which for me, absolutely not. You don't kneel during the national anthem. You find another way to protest, maybe stand hand in hand, maybe make a statement after the game, during the game, don't catch a touchdown pass. And then after the game, they say, why'd you drop that? You could say, because Black Lives Matter. And that was your protest. That'd be great. Go for it. But I think after the first week, the NFL will straighten it out to say, hey, look, we're not doing this shit. You're standing up, because their ratings are going to get slaughtered. They will. A lot of people will be upset about it. The ratings, they're going to be slaughtered. I'm taking a knee watching the games. But again, I'll be there because I want to see how Cam Newton does. I want to see if the Patriots are going to be good. They just signed a running back that was a really good running back, but then he blew out his ACL. But you know what? Guess who else blew out his ACL a few years ago? Right? Julian Edelman. And then the guy went on to be the Super Bowl MVP. So Lamar Miller might be a great running back for us. We got him for 1 year. We got Cam for 1 year. We probably got Julian. This will be his last year. We might have a shot here. So go Pats. All right. No college football garbage. Hold on. Joe Biden has selected his vice president presidential candidate. I'm telling you this just as a matter of news, so that we can have a quick discussion on this, because I don't really care who Joe Biden picks as his vice presidential candidate. Joe Biden's not going to win. He's going to get absolutely slaughtered. Biden looks like he's going to die. They're weekend at Bernie's. Literally, they're rolling this dude out, propping him up. He is not for whatever. And I think Trump might be older. No, Trump is actually younger by a couple of years. My bad. But Sleepy Joe is hurting health-wise. It's apparent. Every time the guy gets out there, he doesn't have energy. They're now saying that he's not going to be at the DNC because of coronavirus. I call BS. They don't want him speaking, because every time the guy speaks, he can't remember what the hell he's doing or where the hell he is. And every time he talks, you could tell that he has a problem remembering what's going on, and that he's just a shell of a man. So I don't care, but let's talk about her because she got picked. What does this mean? Well, what it means is that they're going for they're trying to keep the ticket moderate. Now, that this lady comes across as someone that is progressive, but the truth is she is a phony, like Trump called her, phony Kamala or Carmelo Anthony, whatever the hell her freaking name is, caramel chocolate. I don't know. The truth of the matter is, before she became a senator, before she ran for president, I used to call this lady a closet Republican. Why would I call her a closet Republican? She needs to just come to our team. When she was the Attorney General of California, this lady was a hard-nosed Attorney General, like the kind that we like, the one that supported law enforcement, the one that didn't make bills that took authority away from police officers. She fought for bills that would, and laws, and adding more police officers to California to support them. She fought. She was tough on criminals. Tough. Check out her record. One other thing that I love about this lady, right, because she's a closet Republican, is she is tough on parents. And I think we need to be tough on parents, because as you know, I believe it's the parents' fault. Everything that's happening in this country with the kids that are lazy, that don't want to work, the snowflakes, the pussies, the ones that don't want to go and watch the WAP video, the parents that won't let their fucking son, who's 12 years old, check out that video. Bro, I'll get that video right in my kid's face and be like, yo, look at that ass. Wet ass pussy. You, 12, wet ass pussy. Look at it. Because I want my son to be a fucking man. She's that type of parent. While she was the attorney general, she held people accountable. She made a law or an ordinance, whatever it is, to hold parents accountable for their kids being late or not going to school. Man, my lips getting itchy. That's not very good. You know, I might have to get the Abreva out, kid. I might get a cold sore coming in. So she's a freaking closet. Here's the thing. She's a closet Republican, man. She 100%, it wants to hold parents accountable. And I love that kind of crap. That's how she was when she was attorney general. She literally, if your kid was late or truant, the parents would get penalized. I love that kind of shit. I think parents should be responsible for everything their kids do until their kid's an adult. So if your kid smashes a window, your fault, because you made your kid a punk. Now, I'll pass the buck. If my kid smashes a window, I'll be like, yeah, you better get your ass over to the neighbor's house. You better tell him you're sorry, and you're going to work and pay for that damn window. But if your kid doesn't do it, you're on the hook for it. But as a good dad, you'll make your kid do it. And as a good dad, you'll make sure your kid goes to school and you make sure your kid gets educated. And as a good dad, you're going to deal with the stupid home remote schooling and you're going to make sure your kid gets an education. And she holds parents accountable. Now, because she wanted to run for senator in the most liberal state in the country, California, she had to flip-flop. She had to change her hard-nosed ways and become more progressive. She had to BS. It's kind of like running for office here in Massachusetts, right? You might be a die-hard Republican, but you have to run as a Democrat because you won't get elected. Or if you're a Republican, you're really a Democrat, right? If you're like a Charlie Baker, I think Charlie Baker's doing a great job, but Charlie is more of a Democrat than he is a Republican. Or he's right in the middle. He's more of an independent. Here in Massachusetts, you have to be more of an independent or a moderate Republican or a fucking Looney Tune liberal to get elected. Same thing in California. In California, you have to be a Democrat even though you are a Republican. And this lady, and by right, should be called phony Kamala, or whatever the hell her name is, by Trump, but not for the reasons that he's on it. I'm on it because when she was attorney general, she was a hard-nosed bitch and nobody got away with shit. And that's what Republicans do. Republicans are hard-nosed people. We don't put up with excuses. We lock your ass up. We throw the key away. Done. We support law and order. All of a sudden, she becomes senator in 2017 and becomes this super-duper progressive freaking bitch. Now, I don't want, it's so unfair to call her a bitch. But you know what? I don't care. Bitch. I said it. Done. This is what I'm talking about. We don't back off stuff like that. We say it. We mean it. Whatever. I called you a bitch. Deal with it. So now she goes super progressive, right? And then while literally no one spoke out more against Joe Biden than she did during the debates. So that's why Trump's calling her phony. Trump's like, hey, you're phony. You all of a sudden you're buddy with Donald Trump. I'll give you an example of how Trump's not phony. When Trump was running for president, Mitt Romney shredded him. Mitt Romney still shreds him, right? Then everybody thought that Trump was going to take Mitt Romney as his Secretary of State. That was the big news. All Secretary of State, they're going to have a meeting. They had a meeting, and I'm willing to bet that Trump was like, yeah, bro, I'd never make you Secretary of State. You call me, you ripped on me, you gave me crap. Ha, I just want to call you here so I can tell you your face that you're a punk-ass bitch. Now get out. Now, I don't think Mitt Romney's a punk-ass bitch. I like guys like Mitt Romney when it comes to standing for true grit. It takes a lot of balls to be a Republican and vote to impeach a Republican. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not going on that merit. I thought it was wrong. But I like people that have integrity that will stick with their constituents. The guy got elected in Utah. People in Utah don't like Trump. He stuck with his constituents, which is what he's supposed to do. Anyways, Miss Harris comes out as a huge progressive. The problem is she's not. She's not. And she's lying to the Democrats, and she's lying to everybody. She tried to run as a true progressive, and it blew up in her face, which is why she didn't get the nomination, which is why she disappeared, because people started to realize that she had more things that aligned her, with Sorry, my brother keeps texting. She has more things in line with Republicans than she actually does with Democrats. And then she went to the dark side, to the Democratic side, and started pushing for all these ridiculous tax bills and benefits for people that were just garbage. So I don't think it's going to help. I don't think it matters. There's my take on it. I don't really care. I didn't even want to waste any time talking about it because honestly, they're going to lose to Trump no matter what. It's garbage. I do want to talk about Trump's take on this. Trump's take on this cracked me up. This is like classic Donald Trump. First off, right off the bat, Donald Trump. Sorry, I'm trying to do the podcast and my brother keeps texting me and it just drives me nuts that everybody in America, everybody knows it's America's podcast and everybody in America knows that I'm doing my podcast right now. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. So don't act like you don't know. I'm doing my podcast. Stop texting me. I don't care. I'm trying to talk about freaking Trump. I don't give a fuck what you're texting about right now. Jesus. I'm doing my podcast. They used to bother the hell out of me when I was on the radio. When people would text me, I'm like, bro, I'm on the air. I'm on air. I'm on air. I'm on air. I can't talk, bro. I'm on air. Well, right now, I'm broadcasting, I'm streaming, and I'm doing my podcast. Stop fucking texting me. All right. Back to Trump. Okay? Back to Trump. Yeah, bro, this is America's podcast, 150%. That's the name of the podcast. It's Spaz'n Out. America's podcast. All right. Anyways, Trump, right off the bat, shoots. He's already got a name for it. It's called Phony Kamala, which is great. And he points out the fact that she's a flip-flopper and how she was ripping on Biden, and now she's in bed with Biden. Fantastic. I love that kind of stuff, but that's not what we're going to talk about. This dude said in an interview today, right? This is what I love about Donald Trump, dude. He cracks me up. Cracks me up. First thing he talks about is, who cares? He's like, yeah, who cares about VP? I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, yeah, nobody votes for VP. Who cares? He goes, what does it matter who his VP is? And then he was like, oh, but, Mike Pence is great. And then he finishes it with, that's why I love Trump. He finishes the interview with, but let's be real, no one votes for the vice president. And in most cases, I agree with him. In most cases, the vice president doesn't mean crap. The vice president is more of it's more of like sometimes you're taking someone on as vice president to be the next guy, right? But no one really gives an F. No one cares who you vote. Like, just think Dan Quayle, right? Do you even remember who Dan Quayle is? Anybody? It was George Bush, the senior's vice president. No one cares. For the most part, nobody cares about vice president. I think like what they try to do, like, for example, John F. Kennedy took Lyndon Johnson as his vice president because that helped him win Texas. So when you're taking a vice president, you're hoping to get some kind of people to come on board to vote for you. But for the most part, it's on you, bro. They're voting for you. That's it. That's like saying, I use Take Chunk because Anthony works there, bro. You don't care if Anthony works at fucking Take Chunk or not. What you care about is getting your junk taken out of your house. So I agree with him on that. I just think it's funny how he railroads his vice president. Oh man, I hope my podcast didn't stop. Hold on, everybody. It did. We had an interruption in the podcast. I need to restart. Let's record. Hold on. I'm not gonna flip out on it because it was my own fault. I hit the button and turned off the feed. So I'll have to figure that out. My bad. Hold on. Everybody relax. We're on pause. Normally I would flip out and get all pissed, but I did it. Segments 1. Not yet. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. That's if you're listening to the podcast, right? You there was a little break, and now I'm back because I hit the stupid button. I hit the check 1 2. That I messed up the button and I turned off the record button, and we're back. We're talking about the same thing. We're talking about Donald Trump. So, anyways, also another thing that Trump did that I love that he does, right, is listen. Let's be honest, okay? And I'm an honest person. There are a lot of men that will not vote for Biden now because he has a woman as a VP. There are a lot of men out there still that believe that a woman isn't capable of doing these kind of jobs. I'm not one of them. So I'm not going to let you attack me and call me a damn sexist, okay? I'm just saying that it is a fact that there are a lot of dudes out there that would not vote for a woman just because she is a woman. And there are a lot of guys out there that will not vote. It's just like, for example, there are a lot of guys out there that won't vote for a Democrat because they're Republican. They just won't vote for a Democrat. There are a lot of guys left. There are a lot of dudes, probably 65 plus. The 65 plus guys, you just woke them up. You woke them up. Biden, you woke people, just woke up the women haters. You woke up that silent minority of people, probably 65 to like 80, right? Up. What happened? Your broadcast. Jesus, man, what is going on? Everything is. I think that Twitter just kicked me off of my stream because I'm talking about how dudes won't vote for women. But chill, man. You guys are confused. You're absolutely confused. What I'm trying to say here is there are people out there. I can't believe I just got fucking bumped off of Twitter for that. I'm literally talking to you guys, and I got bumped off of Twitter. They just said I violated their conduct, and I think they bumped me because I said there are dudes that wouldn't vote for women. So hold on. Let's see. Wow, man, this is like what bounce, man. I'm out. I'm so aggravated, dude. You know what? I'm out on it. I'm out. Hold on. Let me shut down the Twitter feed. All right. Anyways, we'll continue here. All right. We can all agree that there are men that are sexist. There's a lot of men left that are sexist that will not vote for Biden now, whether they are Republican or Democrat, because he picked a woman. Trump is smart enough to wake these dudes up, and he does it all the time. He says it, and so he was in an interview, and someone asked, who would you have picked? Trump said, I wouldn't have done this. I'm paraphrasing. I wouldn't have done what Joe Biden did. I wouldn't have pigeonholed myself into having to pick a woman, right? Because that's what Biden did. Biden put himself in a hole. He had to pick a woman no matter what. It had to happen, period. He did it, done. Trump was like, I picked the best person for the job. Whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, whether it's an asexual, it's a nothing, it's a eunuch. Trump doesn't care. He's like, I picked the best person for the job. And then he says the greatest thing. Then he says the greatest thing at the end of the comment. He said, but there are a lot of men that are offended by this. And he goes, oh, I'm just saying. And I love when he does that because he does it all the time. On a lot of different topics, he'll throw out and wake up the angry people. It's like he'll say something to the effect of, gay marriage isn't for me, but people are going to get married. That's fine. And then he'll say, but there are a lot of people that don't like gays. And that's him being like, hey, woo, my ticket's all mail. Vote for me. And people will. There is a decent amount of people out there that will literally not vote for her or Biden because he picked a woman. I'm not one of those people. I truly believe I'm for listen, I love high performers, and I'm truly for the high performer. If it's a woman that is the high performer, she gets the job. If it's the dudes that's the high performer, he gets the job. I don't care. Best candidate for the job. Honestly, I'm that's how I feel. 150%, bro. If Kaylee were making $2 million a year, I'd happily stay home, watch the kids, and do the dishes. Okay, but at that point, we would just pay somebody to do it. But point is, see, now I sound sexist, like washing the dishes is a woman's job. Huh? You guys are trying to rope me in, but it is. Come on, let's be honest. I really want my wife to wash the dishes. I don't want to do them. I don't. And not because she's a woman, because I don't want to do them. If I had a dude, if I was married to a guy, I'd want him to do the dishes. I just don't want to do them. I would have to marry, like if I were gay, I want to marry a house guy. I want a house guy because I want him to do the laundry, take out the trash, take care of the kids. I don't want to do that crap. That's not my thing. But I just wanted to say that it's smart by President Trump to remind the male haters out there, and there's a lot of them, that Joe Biden just picked a woman, and you shouldn't vote for Joe Biden, or You got to get out and vote for me, because if you don't, a woman is going to be president. That's what he did. He is smart. The dude is smart. And I'm telling you, there are a ton of dudes right now, and Trump knows it. You know it. Biden's campaign probably did the same thing. Biden's campaign probably sat back and said, damn, if we pick a woman, there's going to be a lot of dudes that are going to come out and vote for Donald Trump because they don't want a woman to be president. And there's a good chance that if they win, she'll be president. Chances are that Joe Biden is going to die in office. The guy is super, like, come on, bro, he's already the crypt keeper, right? He definitely doesn't make it to the end. So the first woman president, if Biden wins, becomes the first woman African-American. You know what, man? She's Jamaican, so I don't even know if that means she's African. Like the first Jamaican Indian woman, she'll be president, right? But I just wanted to point out the slickness of Donald Trump, and he does this a lot, and I want you guys to watch him when he does it. Anytime he brings up something that is offensive, right, and then says, well, but I don't see it, but I'm not like that, he's bringing it up to get those people that are upset, because he's not that, right? I'll try to explain it again. Trump just reminded all the men that are left anyways, that are sexist and that don't believe women can handle this type of job. These are probably guys that are 65 plus, maybe 70 plus, that can still vote, right? He just reminded all of them, hey, I don't have a woman on my ticket. Just so you know, he reminded them. He woke them up and said, hey, in November, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just know that he's got a girl on his team, and that it's going to get dudes to come out and vote. He probably just got himself. And listen, Biden's campaign's thinking the same thing. Joe Biden's campaign probably did a study and said, okay, how many votes are we going to lose for picking a woman, as opposed to how many votes will we gain for picking a woman? Because now it goes vice versa. There are a ton of women that will simply vote for Joe Biden just to vote for a woman. Does it offset? I'm sure they spent tons of money, millions of dollars, trying to figure out if it offsets, trying to figure out if the fact that having a woman would negate, because it will get out, how many people will it get out to just vote against a woman, and how many people will it get out just to vote in support of a woman? No politics involved whatsoever, just I'm only voting for a dude, and I want to vote for a woman just because she's a woman. And they did the studies, and I'm telling you, Biden's probably scared about it, but he didn't have a choice. He had to pick a woman because from the get-go, he pigeonholed himself, basically came out and said, yep, I'm going to take a woman. He couldn't backpedal on it, period. He should have. He should have picked the best person for the job, and maybe he did. I don't know. I think he picked the wrong person for him because he looks like a boob, because this lady absolutely shredded him when they were doing the primaries. I can't even see how these two people could be in the same room. Trump would never do that. Trump would never take a candidate on as his vice president that ripped his ass. He'd be like, get the hell out of here. Beat it. You're going to talk trash about me and think we're homies? Get out of here. Bounce. So I just like that stuff. Check it out. Trump came out, said that some men are going to be offended by Joe Biden because he picked a woman. He is saying he's not offended by it, but what he did is he rattled the cage. He let those people know. He said, hey, Joe picked a woman. Wake up, vote for me because I'm an all-male ticket. Rattle, hit the cage. It was like, boom, 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 boom. And there's a ton of them, bro. There's a ton of them. Tons. All right, that's going to do it. Podcast over. I'm going to go upstairs, hang over with my family, spend a little time with them. I got to patch this sucker together because it fell apart halfway through. Do me a favor, go watch that video. WAP, Wet Ass Pussy. Go check it out. It's Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and Kylie Jenner's in it. It's a man alert. All men, all women. You know what? You know who will love it? The guys that won't vote for Biden because he picked a woman. Picked a woman. They'll love the video. Check that out. Check it out now. Al, thanks, bro. All right, guys. You guys all have a good night. I'm going to stop the podcast. Wait. This is America's podcast. Let's not forget that. It's your podcast. Thank you for listening to America's podcast. All right, Facebook peeps. Guys, good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Muzzle pigs. Definitely. Both those two girls are muzzle pigs. 100%. Megan Thee Stallion, muzzle pig. All right, YouTube. If you don't follow me, follow me. Please subscribe to my page, and we'll be doing this 5 nights a week. Thank you.